Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Hello, ladies I'm hearing and echo. Gentlemen. Give me a moment. I'm hearing echo. Give me a moment. I forgot to mute the other window. Okay, hi. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Games Expedition. It is me, Nep, along with FB and Musi.
It's me again.
Yeah.
Come on, finally.
FB was just having his stream, his expedition in the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV with some what the hell is that called DLC patch something
Expansion.
yes.
Expansion.
And are you still on the free account, by the way?
No.
Oh, okay.
I actually own the game for like years already.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
Ken. So yes, that FP. Thanks FP for sending your guys here. I hope everybody here will enjoy what we have today. And
Thanks for the raid.
Thank you, Final Petition, for the raid.
Thank you FP for the raid.
I saw Mouse comment earlier. Hey, thanks for the raid. You're welcome.
Thanks for the raid. And in the chat, while we were waiting for it to start, apparently some other guy also had an expedition. I heard to the toilet for the past week. Man.
Yeah, man.
It sucks
I
having...
was wondering, where is he? I don't see him. Then now, it's a smelly one.
It's a shit expedition. But don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
These are games expert. What is going on? FP? Your camera disappeared?
Wait. Why did my camera just disappear?
I want to ask you the question. Suddenly we have a streamception. I see myself in Musi's screen. Musi is in FP's screen.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, we have no signal now. Oh
Wow.
boy.
Wow.
Oh boy, what is going on?
You know.
Oh man. Games Expedition and Games Expedition
Technical
and
issues,
technical
yes.
issues. You know, name a more iconic duo.
One after another.
One after another.
You know what? Give me a moment.
Okay, we'll give you a moment.
Yeah.
How long is a moment, guys? Oh, he left. Oh, he came back.
How about
Yeah.
now?
I don't see camera.
Why does it say USB device not recognized?
Oh boy.
Oh boy, oh no.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
What about the other
That's-
camera?
you know what? Let's do that.
I guess I have to do some live editing as usual. Like the very first episode.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
you know what this means? It's time to get a new cam.
Yeah, exactly. And now I have to
Oh,
now I have to do
no.
the magic to make you smaller and all that stuff. Oh boy. Yeah. Don't.
Hey, look, I have a very big face now.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on. Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Now you look great. You look wonderful. You look dashing.
Dashing.
Camera
But I'm
makes
not
it
moving.
different.
Huh?
But I'm not moving. How am I supposed to dash?
Okay. Sure. Okay. Sure. I knew it was going to come to that. Yeah. Sure.
Oh no.
I thought the other camera was pretty good. I mean,
Yeah,
you had
but-
like wide angle and everything. You know, it's not like me. I'm like still somehow like really small. Actually, why am I so small here?
I blame the price point of the camera.
You blame
That was
the
20.
you blame the
Yeah.
camera.
That was just a $20.
Oh, okay. That makes that
okay.
makes kind of a little bit of sense. Yeah, sure.
But it's not bad quality actually.
Yeah, it's not bad
For
quality.
stream.
We've used
For
it.
stream.
Well, it's always been the case, isn't it? If you ask a photographer, and this is, I'm saying this because you can apply this to anything to do with your cameras. It's not about the quality of the camera that you have, but it's about the lighting. And some photographers even will say you can never have enough lighting. And this is exactly and when your $20 camera can look wonderful with enough lighting. That's what I'm trying
And you
to
know
say.
the funny part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
You don't have
this
lighting.
one ring light I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
is already brighter than my future.
And so it's okay. The person who is not with us today, usually when he's lighted up, he he gets so bright. His brightness is brighter than our future.
Wait, but you just said there's not enough lighting.
There's
But
never-
then do you have another
yeah, but
spectrum?
then there's the other spectrum where you don't actually adjust to the lighting properly, and then you jack up the exposure too high, and then it become too bright.
Oh no.
So this
I mean-
so that is like you adjusting the camera. But if you have a weak camera, or you have a camera with maybe let's say if you work on lower exposure, then you never have enough lighting. Because if you have more lighting, you can always reduce the exposure to make it look better. But if you have not enough lighting, that's only so high you can bring the exposure before it starts looking like crap, pretty much grainy.
Supernova. Ooh.
Yeah, like a supernova, like some grainy stuff, low quality 480p video that you probably don't want to
Yeah.
see in a high quality podcast such as this. So yes, welcome ladies and gentlemen. This is Games Expedition Spaced Out. And
Space.
what is this Spaced Out all about? Guys, please answer this question for me as I readjust my keys.
Space Out is about us.
Yes.
Literally spaced out.
Literally spaced out there, and that's exactly what it is. It is where we get spaced out from talking about different topics about the games industry and about our lives. So what you see
Yeah.
right here, right now, is us just talk. It's not the actual show yet. We haven't really got into the main topics and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we do have a series of topics to cover today, and we are very excited to cover them today. And of course, I'm on top, not because I want to be on top, but because I'm going to play the role of the middle guy, the middleman. I won't be debating too much.
Yeah.
The primary debaters will be the two people below me, FB and Musi. So and of course you guys. So if you got anything you want to say to FB and Musi, please go ahead and say it. If you got anything bad to say to me, I'll ban you. Just kidding. Okay. Anyway.
Wow.
Goose. Goose.
Okay. Anyway, shall we get started then with our very first topic?
Alright.
Bad.
And
Alright,
they say
let's go.
bad. All right. In 3, 2, 1, our very first topic is pertaining to the two of you. What got you into gaming and what has kept you gaming until today? Because I believe we all have different beginnings into our gaming lives. So we'd like to find out more about you guys on how you guys started and why you guys are still playing even until now.
If you want to start, or are you sure start?
Okay. Okay. I'll just get this started first. So actually for me, gaming itself, okay. First of all, at this right at this point of time, let's just say gaming has already been a very strong part of my life. Like this is what I've been doing since as I grew up. So I guess that's like, so to me it's actually not just a form of entertainment or a form of getaway. It actually has a form of sentimental value as well. So like the first time I actually, okay, like I believe on our first podcast I actually did share before, but since we are on to this topic over here, I can mention it again. So how I started gaming, right? The first time I started gaming was actually introduced by my dad. Not anyone else. It's not a friend. It's not my relatives, but my dad. Okay. So for all the people in my community, most of them actually, like the regulars actually do know. My dad has already passed away. So like for me, in a sense, it's also a form of memory as well. Yeah, like the first time, like it's actually one of the favorite activity I have. Okay, so how was it? It's like back then, when I was still a young child, right? Okay, my family and I would say my yeah, my family, my relatives, uncles, auntie, all of them, sort of like elitists. I feel.
Elitist?
So yeah, grades. Your grades are everything. For me, I'm a very
Ah.
underperforming child. No matter I'm actually hyperactive. I couldn't sit still for a very long time, and also no matter how hard I try, I couldn't do as well as my other siblings and even my cousin. So like in a sense, because of that, I do feel that as I grow up, I feel like sort of a black sheep.
Mm.
But even so, right? But even so, my even though we have this kind of background, but my dad, he okay, he himself is also sort of a playful person. If I according to what I understand from my mom, so he actually understands how I like my plight.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually like uh we don't have a caretaker at home as well. So and both my parents are working. So sometimes I do go to stay over at the office while they're working as so that they can keep an eye on me. But there are these few occasional scenarios where my dad will be like, hey, you go use the computer, come we go play a game.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like it's a form of it feels like a form of bonding with him. It's something that we actually sort of kept a secret from my mom or even my relatives. Nobody actually knows about this. This is our own little secret. So for me itself, the game we played was actually Age of Empires 2. It was his favorite game as well. So when we played, it does gives a lot of sentimental value. Yeah, right now for me it has a lot of sentimental value. When it comes to gaming, I don't feel so alone, which is also one reason why I actually enjoy playing games with people rather than playing alone. Because for me this is already my way of bonding with people.
Mm.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Was it your first game?
Yeah, Age of Empires 2.
Mm.
Was your first game? This is actually a hard game, not gonna lie. Like, you were a young kid, right? Can you guess how? Can you like roughly not really guess? Can you gauge? Can you gauge how much your age when you started playing Age of Empire?
That was like primary school.
Primary school
Primary
for me
school.
as well, yeah. It's not my first game, but it was in primary
Yeah,
school I
so
played it.
Oh wow!
so like the reason why like for him right, like he doesn't want me to like he want me to play Age of Empires, right? Okay, for one thing is actually I actually saw him play before I seemed quite interested. That's definitely one reason.
Mhm.
Another one is that he actually in a way he wants me to learn a bit more about strategizing and also resource management. So it is a little bit. It may be a little bit high level for a new player. Of course, I got brutally trashed when I play all the time, and it did take a while for me to pick up the game. But I believe right, it like he does have an intention for me
Mm.
to play these specific games.
Xeno, wrong game, Xeno. Mm.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
problem.
but,
The only thing I remember,
Right.
the only thing I remember with Age of Empires 2 when I was a young kid was me spamming the shit out of, how do you turn this on?
Oh my
yes.
god, the cheat codes.
Yeah,
Oh
The
my god.
cheats, yes, definitely.
I
Yeah.
don't think I ever
I
learned
think-
how to play the game properly when I was young.
Yeah. But still, Age of Empires is a really, really I still think Age of Empires is still one of the masterpiece of RTS.
Mm, it is.
Like I know StarCraft is definitely the more popular choice. Because honestly speaking, Age of Empires is a lot more versatile and a lot more complicated if you were to think
I
about
mean,
it.
that's the reason why
Yeah.
the competitive scene for Age of Empires 2 is still active going to today. In
Yeah,
fact, it
exactly.
got even more
For sure.
active in recent years.
Can you even imagine a game that's like by now it's already more than okay, I forgot how many years was it already. But
20 years.
I think
20 years easily.
Yeah,
20
okay,
years.
20
So
years.
yeah, there's the
Yeah.
anniversary.
it's a 20-year-old game and a competitive game, the scene is still so strong.
It grew.
That's how much of a
Really?
masterpiece it is. You
It
know?
grew. It grew. The game.
Meanwhile, StarCraft, meanwhile StarCraft have to go to StarCraft 2.
Hmm.
I know it's definitely more mainstream. People it's easier to get into as well.
Hmm.
And then there's Age of Empires. Oh my god, 20 years and still strong.
Yep.
The community is still strong.
Do you watch?
Yeah.
I
I watch a few games and I tell you the way they play it's just mind blowing, There's just so much strategy. And also the amount of ways you can customize like the amount of ways you upgrade your units, right?
Hmm.
It changed the flow of the game so
Yes,
much.
exactly.
Just that one single upgrade.
Yep.
Yeah.
Musi, you want
So,
to say something?
I have not seen any of the competitive of the I would say the Age of Empire 2s, but if I'm to like pick a reference from like StarCraft, right? How much difference of it compared to StarCraft? Like the competitive of Age of Empire. Like StarCraft is mostly unit based, base rush, search. There's a special not really special, there's a method of race which is Zergs who like to build early and rush to end the game fast, if I believe. And you're telling me that it's a single upgrade that changed. You were talking about a single upgrade of a building or a unit?
Unit. Yes.
Yeah.
So how Age of Empires work is you have different kinds of units. I mean it's not so different from StarCraft in that regard, but because of the way the economy is run in Age of Empires, you need to farm for wood, gold, stone, and food. Yeah, all these things, because all these things play a huge part in how you choose to build your army going forward. So you need to think ahead. Like let's say, I want to go into knights. If I want to go to archers, I need to get gold. So I need to get villagers to mine gold for my build for my economy. But if I don't plan to go on archers, then I don't have to mine gold. I just continue building farms, continue farming wood,
resource
and so
management.
forth. And all that kind of stuff. But for StarCraft in general has always been more straightforward in that sense because you only got one resource, and that is
Two resource.
Two resource?
Mineral and gas.
Yeah, mineral and gas. Yeah, just
right.
those two resources. But all your units share these two resources. So eventually, when you play your strongest, you are always going to end up playing your strongest unit at some point in the game. Yeah. So.
But even let's say we are talking about like the unit defense, right? Okay. Unit defense wise in Age of Empires, so there are actually different kind of units. Okay, first you have your infantry. Your infantry consists of spearmen, swordsmen. So spearmen, you need to know which unit counter which unit. So if you know your enemy is going cavalry, you want to build more spearmen. If you know your enemies are playing archers, you want to build more cavalry.
Yes.
This kind of thing, you really need to, like, even the scouting does play a huge part as well. So figure out what your enemy is focusing on, and then you counter with your own. This, I mean, it does sound very familiar with StarCraft as well, except that StarCraft there's only two choices, light armor and heavy armor.
And then there's also raiding and all that stuff. And once you throw in raiding, oh boy, I tell you, the game opens up. Because you know how to defend, and then you need to know how to attack while you're defending.
Yeah.
And you need to know how to balance these two out perfectly. There's a high level Age of Empires play. Even though I don't play the game, it's a joy. It's a joy to watch. It's really a joy to watch.
Maybe we should have a show that we can showcase like this kind of mechanic that we don't usually see in normal gameplay.
That's a very good idea. Well, we should do that.
It's harder to see
when we can,
like when it's visualized.
Yeah, I think it's very. We can probably try to do that if one of us is good enough at the game.
I'm only good enough because of AI, man.
Huh?
I'm only good enough against AI.
Yeah, same. That's the thing. Yeah, but Age of Empires is a huge, deep genre, as with most RTSs, and as with many shows that we have done with anybody that is that enjoys RTS, is something that it's a rabbit hole. And with rabbit holes, we try to avoid it in a 1.5 hour well, pretty much podcast. So yeah, because FB, you've spoken about your life in gaming, but what about you, Musi? We haven't got to you yet.
Yes. I mean, we've been last podcast we were talking about Asian Empire, but it's a bit hard to get onto it with data constraint as well. So
Yeah.
and just a little bit of insight. It will be better for those who don't know much about the RTS genre. Anyway, away from Asian Empire, maybe we have another podcast talking about it since
Oh, we can
this is good
we can do
thing.
a random stream, just play Asian Empires. Oh yeah, Musi,
Age
how
of
about you?
Empires PvP.
Yes.
What got you into gaming?
Actually, what got into gaming is actually curiosity.
Oh,
If you guys know, I actually have two older sisters. They actually like how you say they are 5 years and 12 years older. So I was kind of exposed to them playing games on their computers. So
Wow.
like imagine like what 5 years old child
mhm.
watching like what 17 years old or something years old playing computer games, and I'm just like over there at the chair like, oh, what are you doing? It looks so interesting. So that actually made me intrigued even more, and they gave me an opportunity to play. So I can't remember the exact game they gave me to
Doom?
play, but no,
Ah.
it was not even FPS or anything. It was actually
Neopets.
Sims.
Oh wow. Okay, so you remember the game.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
so it was actually the Sims. I don't know when it was the Sims
Okay.
released though. So Sims have a weird concept. I mean, you like have to manage relationships and stuff. And back then, I don't really think I am very sociable. I'm like a very internal introvert, you can say.
Mm.
So it's like, oh, I can do this and that, and then when I noticed there's a special action called woohoo, right? I got more
what?
interested in it.
A woohoo.
Woohoo.
What's a
Yeah.
woohoo?
What's a hoo-hoo?
You don't know what's a woohoo
Woohoo?
in
Nope.
Sims?
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Okay, let's say two Sims and a bit.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
That-
okay, okay.
That's
Yes,
woohoo.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
I get it.
That's
So,
not- that's not
so the interactions of the birds and the bees. Okay, we get it. Okay, sure.
Okay, sure.
So it's like I started on the wrong foot actually.
Oh,
Interesting,
no.
Alright.
interesting.
I don't know whether it's joking, but this is like one of the interesting aspects. And apart from jobs, being like, a lot of jobs and stuff,
Mm.
but
Mhm.
my father actually gave me an Xbox, the original Xbox.
He gave you an Xbox. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not of a gift or anything, I think. But that's where I really hook into games. I mean, I have like cousins that came over to play Halo co-op from not legendary, just normal.
Look at
He stayed-
Skylar. Wow, Xbox.
So it's like slumber party. He just one cousin. We played Xbox the whole campaign for the whole weekend, and it's like it just keep on going onwards from there. It's like FP is more of the father bonding. I'm more of like I'm just like third party experience, and how you say I'm exploring the things I play by myself. Like no guidance. And I remember there's a time where in Malaysia or in Singapore back then, there's a very legal game shop that you can actually pick a games for just $5.
Very legal game shop, huh?
Very, very legal game shop.
Very, very legal.
Yeah, sounds very
that comes
legal.
like maybe once a year. Yes, very legal. Once a year you can just pick and
It's
then
okay.
try
I
the
got my
games.
very legal
yeah.
Digivice from Malaysia as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I still remember those, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, very legal. Very, very legal. Yeah. So I just choose a lot of my games from there, which most of it doesn't work, which is sad.
yeah, that's very true as well. I heard of all those. I totally have gone through like all your individual journeys when growing up playing games. Mine's a long story as well, so we won't get into that.
Maybe TLDL.
I started gaming when I was 4.
Wow, 4?
With probably a Sega Genesis or Nintendo
Sega Genesis.
or N64. And
Isn't 4 a bit too young for gaming?
my dad bought a console when I was 4, and I was the one
I don't
playing
even
it.
know what's a phone. I don't even know what's a phone at 4 years old.
Yeah, my dad just wanted, I don't know, my dad just bought a console, so from there it went on and on and on. Yep. So I played the games that you guys mentioned. With not Sims. I never played Sims in my life.
Same.
Minor interest in it. That's about it. Yeah, I never played Sims in my life, but Age of Empires 2 I did play it growing up. Learned a little bit of history from there. Halo was my first Xbox game. It wasn't my Xbox also. It was just my friend's Xbox. Went to his house to play Halo. So and played pretty much that game for the next 4 years in secondary school, because we preferred that game over Halo 2, funnily enough. And Halo 3 was on 360, which none of us had. So yeah, we only had Halo 1.
Oh my god.
Then Musi and Winter Melon Tofu maybe talking about some funny stuff there in the chat, but okay, we shall ignore that for now. Yeah, so that was our game. That was our gaming. That was our gaming history. And if you want to find out more, you can always drop by our individual streams to talk more about it, because I believe many years of experience. There are many years of experience that we can share. And that would definitely take longer than the amount of time that we have right now. Other than the woohoo part. Okay. Anyway, so now let's get into a little bit more of a serious topic. And this is a topic that Musi came up with. So, can less than adequate hype games, games like Cyberpunk, Anthem, recover from their so-called bad start, like for a game like No Man's Sky? Because we all know that No Man's Sky started off with a bit of fanfare. They promised everybody you have trillions of universes to travel to, many different mechanics, and it came out, it was just, I don't even know what the hell it was. It's just whatever, nothing much. And no one liked it, obviously, right? But eventually, over the years, they started patching the game and putting more stuff in the game. And right now, recently, if Musi, maybe you could show us the article as well. No Man's Sky seems to have recovered some of its love. So yes, I am waiting for that screen to pop up so I can get into it. So No Man's Sky has regained some of its love they originally wanted to have. Now, so this topic goes to the other games that started in the same vein as No Man's Sky. And so, do you guys feel that No Man's Sky is the other games that started in the same maybe bad spot as No Man's Sky will be able to recover and build back up their hype?
So like Nep explained earlier, that No Man's Sky actually started with a under-promised game, and it actually took 5 whole years for Steam review to actually be positive.
5 years, that's a long time.
Yeah, I mean they came up with a lot of expansions actually. They keep updating the game, which is actually one of the games that been updating for 5 years, apart from games as service like Overwatch, PUBG. I mean, No Man's Sky is actually maybe not supposed to be those type of games where you have to keep updating the game to keep in relevance. But maybe the passion of the developers who under promises. I mean,
over promise, under
over
deliver.
promises. Yes, yeah, over promise and under deliver the game. Maybe it's how you say, passionate to push out all this while to have like very positive review, and this is a very good trend to see. Like there's other games like Witcher 3 who started very buggy, like CD Projekt Red actually has a, how do you say this, a bad start with Cyberpunk 2077.
2077 Cyberbug
Yeah,
2077.
2077. Yeah, 77. Yes, yes. It has a bad start with it. Like it's buggy and everything. It's actually started from Witcher 3 as well, because Witcher 3 is buggy as well. So it's like, is this gonna be a trend from the company, or like what can they do to like not start it that like from a buggy, or like how do they gonna like recover from very being hype for, or to like, I don't know, be better, be good as No Man's Sky?
Well, do you think that well, we've seen an example of No Man's Sky recovering. We've seen an example of Witcher 3 ironing out all their bugs. So is this, should we be expecting that for other games as well? Let's say
Yes.
in terms of, for this question, we have Cyberpunk 2077 and Anthem.
Oh yes.
Personally, I don't think it's an expectation. It's something that we can always expect, because like for all we know, because I don't know, man. It's like it does seems to be sort of a trend for certain companies, is that they're just gonna be releasing incomplete games for the sake of releasing it. I believe this there may be various reasons for it. Like for example, there are some information or probably rumors talking about like why Cyberpunk was released bad, because of like because the publishers want to rush its release. That
7 years and he's still
stuff.
rushing.
But yet, it having a revival of a game that flopped on release is not exactly 100% thing. In fact, if it actually recovers, right, it should probably be seen as sort of a miracle. At least that's how I feel about it. I mean, it does reduce my trust in
The company.
overly hyped games nowadays, because of all these cases.
Yeah.
But still, there are still certain games that are just dead, and they are not going to do anything
Which
about
was
it.
one of the game that died, that came out to very badly, and then they just killed it after that. It was
Evolve.
by what?
Evolve.
I think Evolve.
Evolve was one. There was another one, right? More recently one. I think it was either a Bethesda games or EA game or something like that. I can't remember.
I don't think it's a Bethesda game, because Fallout 76 it was
No, I
bad.
wasn't referring to Fallout. I mean, I was referring to the actual game, but I don't remember who developed it. It wasn't Anthem, right? There was a game
No,
that killed.
Anthem has
There's
been-
another game that came out around the same time as Anthem, I believe, and they just killed it off.
I don't really remember,
Yeah.
but
I
still,
don't remember, yeah.
a few examples we have actually was one of it was actually Evolve. Evolve release it managed to stay like half, like semi alive for a long time by changing it to a free to play.
It was free to play.
It was free. Oh yeah,
No,
I heard.
No, it wasn't free to play, and they decided to
It became
when they
free to
revamped
play,
it into Evolve something. I forgot what's the name behind it, but
Revolve
it
2?
Evolve 2, right? I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, and they went for the free to play system. But still, but even so, they didn't really do a good job with their game, so they are actually forced to shut down.
Oh
So
man,
it does feel a bit of a pity.
that's sad.
So like I believe like this 4v1 okay, like it actually had a very very big hype, because 4v1 games have been kind of like it's actually a very very fresh how idea that came out at that point of time.
Asymmetrical multiplayer concept, yeah.
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 So because like upon the release of Evolve, after that we actually have Dead by Daylight, which caught quite a bit of hype. I believe it actually got hurt for a period of time, but it kind of recovered.
Mm.
And in fact, right now it's actually quite popular.
Mm.
And then recently I was actually introduced to another game, Predator Hunting Grounds, which kind of underrated, but I still feel that it's kind of fun as well. And also they don't really one thing for sure is that they don't really follow the Evolve's system of
Mistakes, right?
pay to win.
Pay to win.
Yeah, Evolve is
It's-
actually pay to win.
How the hell do you pay to win?
Yeah. No, you have to get monsters. You have to pay to get monsters.
Yeah, when you get the good monster, when you
Yeah.
buy the good monster, right? Those monsters are actually overpowered.
What the hell?
I think at that period is the age of microtransactions transaction.
Yeah,
It's still the age of
was the age
microtransactions.
of-
Now you guys are playing a gacha games. You know better than me.
No, it was the start of that. It's less. We are more adaptable to it. We suck it in.
We are still in it,
Yeah.
guys. We've been
No,
in
no,
it since
okay,
Maple Story.
At least right now at this point of time, microtransaction is actually a lot. People are
It's a
more
lot more
aware about
control. Yes,
microtransaction.
it's a lot more control. Yes.
So it's a lot more control. Back then was like the peak of microtransaction.
yeah, the pick up pay to
People
win. I
spend
understand.
so much, Maple Story.
Yeah. Fuck
I
Maple,
don't know.
man.
Like, there's so many games in gacha system. It's like you just want to.
It's not even gacha. It's just like, oh, you
Yeah.
want to spend money to get an edge over other people playing it for free.
Yeah, that's the
sometimes
thing.
it's just and the payoff usually isn't like as much as you expect it to be. But anyway, we do have someone in chat mentioning. Or should I say? I'll say
critically
verbatim. Okay, FF14.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, FF14
So-
originally came out
like a shit game.
as a.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
was actually planned for disaster until the Lord and Savior Yoship actually
Oh
appeared.
no.
Yeah. And he destroyed the world and rebuilt it with actually a proper storyline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I heard. Yeah,
Okay.
He destroyed the world, rebuilt it to its current glory. Oh my god. Oh,
It's just-
okay.
it's-
I'm
it's
starting
just-
to sound like a
It's
cowboy
essentially
right now.
what they did is that they took whatever code they have for the original FF14, they threw it away, and then they just rebuilt the game from scratch.
Yes, definitely. Yes, that's
Yeah.
like our 1 hour document out there, which I will name Dan Teto right now. He showed me the video. I'm like, I watched. Oh, this made me want to play FF14.
So that 1 hour documentary of how Final Fantasy 14 recovered from their really bad start made you want to play the critically
Yeah.
critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy 14.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
The revival was so huge. It's really crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't
it's-
think
yeah.
a MMO should be able to recover that well.
But they did, because they're Square Enix, they got money.
Mm.
And we have
Mhm.
No Man's Sky is definitely
Definitely.
back. Yep, that's why we are talking about it as one of those games that did recover. Cyberpunk, yeah, unfortunately, Anthem is history.
My Anthem.
Why?
Okay, Anthem has not have much updates actually. Okay, I'm basing on the news on the I'm always updated with news on Reddit, so I can catch some like interesting updates and everything. But Anthem has not have a lot of updates for the past year or maybe 2 years. I think Anthem came out like 2 years ago,
See?
but there's nothing. I mean, even Marvel's The Avengers have updates, and that's like last year.
Yeah. So when I was mentioning about the game that the developers scrapped, yeah, I think I was talking about Anthem there. They actually stopped developing Anthem.
Yikes.
My
Yeah.
Anthem.
So that
It was a
the one.
disaster from the start. I had so much hype when I saw the trailer. I said, "Oh my god, I can finally be Iron Man!" And like, no,
Yes,
never.
Mecha or
I
Gundam.
mean, if you want to
I'm
be
really
Iron
gonna-
Man, you want to be the mecha, you could play like what's the other game? Titanfall. Yeah.
Mech or Titanfall. Oh, yes.
Titanfall. Or if you think that or if you don't want to be so mainstream, you can always play Super Mecha Champions.
Um,
yeah.
the PV Super Mega Champion is a BR.
It is a BR.
We're going to that later. We will
Yeah,
talk about
yeah,
BRs
yeah.
later.
But it's fun, man.
Yeah.
It's fun, okay.
So
It,
what was I?
it's not
Sorry.
judgy.
Yeah, so yeah, FF14 recovered really well and now actually competing with World of Warcraft. In fact, I just realized that some World of Warcraft I just found out recently that some of the World of Warcraft players that I know started playing FF14 as well.
I mean, personally, or you mean
Personally, those that I know
publicity?
personally. Those that I know
Actually,
personally.
a
Yeah.
lot of World of Warcraft players have been jumping over.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
once again, for whatever reason, it's another topic altogether. So talking about the
Yeah.
entire company there. Yeah. But as it is, you mentioned about being hyped for a game because based on the trailer, right? So I guess it is also a bit of a lesson, right? We shouldn't get too hyped on the game because it has like some wonderfully pre-rendered cutscenes.
Yes.
Because I did get hyped for a game before and I'm very glad I didn't buy it. It was known as Watch Dogs.
Oh, actually, Watch
Ubisoft,
Dogs is
the king of
Can
what
E3
they call it?
trailers.
Those kind of
Can-
trailers, misleading trailers. Yes.
Yes.
Can I mention a game that's gonna tilt Skylar?
What?
We love to
Nether.
skip Tiger.
What game can tilt
Nether.
Skylar?
Oh my
Nether.
god, what is
Leather.
Nether. Yeah, the game is literally just called Nether.
Nether.
It
Oh
was
my god.
it
this
was
game.
supposed to be what okay, it's supposed to be something like a MMO RPG version of Dying Light.
Oh, okay.
Dying
You know,
Light?
if I were to just compare the concept, of course it's not built based on Dying Light, but that was a concept. It's a post-apocalypse world,
Mm-hmm.
and then you do quests. It's a FPS MMO, so you have to kill mobs, and then there are other players who can decide to kill you as well.
Mm.
So what actually went wrong with the game is that hackers. There's just so many hackers in the game, and not only are they hackers, they are safe zone campers.
Safe zone campus.
Wait,
there are
are you
areas-
serious?
There are areas in the map where it's safe zone, so it's like where you can store your stuff. You can go to your shops, do some shopping and stuff, like a town in MMO. And then there are these people who literally just hide on rooftops, because it's an urban, post-apocalypse urban environment. They just hide on rooftops with their sniper rifle, with their aimbot on, and then every time you step out, you die.
Every time I step out, I die.
Every time you
Yes.
step out of the safe zone, you just die.
I think that's
Okay.
like a very bad game development. He didn't expect games to exploit
Yeah.
it and everything.
Okay, the fact that you can actually safe zone camp, that was already a sort of a bad design on an MMO perspective, I guess.
Mhm.
But then there also comes the hacker issue, which is a problem.
The hacker.
And you know what? And you know what's the worst thing after that?
Mm?
The developers decided to give back publishing right. No, I mean the publisher give back the publishing right to the developers, and instead of fixing the game, they re-released the game as Nether Resurrected
Huh?
with almost zero changes.
Oh
Why?
my god! Do you have to pay more from it? Or it's
You need to pay for it.
No,
again?
Yes,
Yeah. They
they
released
released it as a separate game on Steam, and you have to pay for it.
I have no words for it.
There are a lot of people who are looking forward to it because oh my god, it's given back to the devs. Devs are definitely going to do something about it. Let's give it another chance.
And then
Nope.
you realize it's not the publisher's fault.
Actually, oh.
It's not the publisher's
so-
fault.
It's just so messed up, you know. They give
actually,
people false
yeah.
hope just to steal their money.
I mean, I
Man.
think there's kind of a lot of game scams that we up in Steam actually. We
Yeah.
are lucky we are smart internet smart right now. Like we can like
I hope that we are
spot-
more smart now on the internet. I do hope.
yeah. especially with the Twitch issues with the bots and getting DOS and everything, you know.
Yep.
Getting overhyped.
Yeah. I'm just gonna bring in a good question. Like, since Mayhem is gonna pre-order Elder Ring, right, which is another hype game from Dark Souls, but will you still pay attention to hype games from a very reputable developers, like, let's say, From Software, which is produce a lot of good Dark Souls games? Will you still like pre-order, or you gonna be like pay a close attention to it? Because it's a very reputation. Like, you can like almost guarantee they will make a good games. Will you still pre-order them?
Like, if you have established a trust with the developers, then why not, right? Why shouldn't you pre-order them? Like, if you know that they have a good track record of making games that you know you will enjoy, okay, and they won't disappoint you, and you don't get to the point where you're like, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. No, you don't want to get to that point, because that means that you are down for the company. I mean, or the company is down for you. But if the company has given you a good impression, given you that trust that you can make a good game, why not, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I still believe at the end of it's still up to the trust of the players, the devs, and also the publisher. The moment like avid gamers, I believe they do pay attention to who the publisher and who the developers are, and as long as one of them hit a red flag, right, they will actually take a step back and decide not to pre-order. I believe, yeah, avid gamers usually would do that, but so this is actually something that devs and publishers really need to work on, because you cannot release a bad game to the players, because words are going to spread, man. Like, every single game they have a community for it. Once the word spread, your reputation just gets ruined.
Yep. I mean, there are some gamers that just don't care. I mean, they don't follow the news, so they don't know what's going on, and they don't care. They're going to continue playing the games that the popular games that come out, like Overwatch or World of Warcraft or StarCraft.
It still makes a lot of difference, I believe.
I mean, but ultimately, ultimately, more and more people are getting more and more aware of things happening around the world.
Definitely.
So, I think developers and publishers have to do good with their games, so that in the long run they can at least they can be more successful with their future game releases.
Yeah. Namely, there's going to be one of the example, which is Back 4 Blood.
Back 4 Blood.
Yes.
What's up with it right now?
So, Turtle Rock Studios is the original creator for Left 4 Dead.
Yep.
Who made Evolve, which is one of the bad examples for overhyped game, and they are going to redesign the Left 4 Dead system and going to come out with a new game called Back 4 Blood.
So L4D to B4B. Okay.
Yes, so this is gonna be, everyone knows how bad Evolve was, and you can see the change of gamers right now. People don't really want to buy the game. It's like you have a second thought, will I buy this game? Compared to, yes, I will pre-order this game. I will get this on Game Pass or something like that. It's just one example I want to bring it up.
So you're not looking forward to it, so you're telling me?
No, I'm just gonna wait and see.
Yeah, I'm always on the wait and see approach for many games. Many of the popular games, especially from those in US companies, strangely enough. What about you, FB? What do you think about Back 4 Blood?
Back 4 Blood, okay, I'll just be very honest about this. I love the gunplay. The campaign is actually fun.
Okay.
But what is actually stopping me from buying the game is, number one, their PvP.
The PvP?
Okay, okay, I've actually looked into various perspective on how people view the PvP. Like for people like okay, the famous streamer Shroud.
Shroud.
He actually loved the PvP.
Okay.
Oh
It's an
wow.
arena PvP where it's an arena style PvP where the survivor have to survive as long as possible.
Hmm.
So what happened is that okay, Shroud actually love it, but then for people who are like just casual gamers like us,
Mm-hmm.
for us it's actually quite a turn off. Because,
would I consider the two of you as casual gamers though?
Okay, like if you were to compare me to who I was probably before I start streaming, I would say I'm actually very casual right now.
Okay.
Before I started streaming, I was actually quite into Apex and Fortnite.
Okay.
My win rate at that time was actually pretty high as well. But like I couldn't do the same right now. Like I'm not sure if it's age or it's because I have not played it for a long time. But this is just something that I realized. So also my mentality to gaming right now because of like how like my lifestyle right now, I do want a bit more casual stuff in my life. So which is why I actually choose to go a bit more casual when it comes to gaming. And yeah, so Back 4 Blood PvP is actually I would say it's actually quite kind of sweaty. That's one thing. Another thing is
Yeah.
it you really need to try hard to win as a survivor.
Okay.
Can you explain what you mean by arena game? Because I haven't played the PvP for myself. So you're saying you just or is it one master or is it 4 infected?
It's 4v4. Yeah.
It's literally Left 4 Dead.
No, it's not Left 4 Dead.
But
It's
not
4v4,
really.
but it's in a very tight arena.
Yeah.
And there will be a poison circle that will close in similar to a battle royale.
Oh my god, what?
So yeah, so instead of what you expect from Left 4 Dead, which is a campaign, you have 4 players running through a campaign, and then have 4 other players being the monsters trying to stop you from finishing a campaign. It's just a 4v4 versus battle.
Yeah, the feel of it totally changed because for one is back when L4D, okay, like if we go back to L4D, right, the PvP consists of you trying to stop the survivor from reaching the endpoint, but this like that is just the objective part of thing. If you were to talk about the vibe of the game, is more of like you are now the infected, you know it, and you are now part of the story, but on the other side. Do you get what I mean, right? So but when it comes to Back 4 Blood, right, the PvP that they provide is just okay, I'm just gonna dump all of you here, you try to survive as long as possible. So it's basically just kill them before they kill you. But yet at the same time, right, because it's infected versus survivor kind of scenario, so in a sense right now it still work on the same concept that if you have a infected team who are really, really coordinated, the survivor have no chance at all. Which is same as L4D. L4D itself, each of your special infected, I would say they're actually pretty squishy. But if you have good coordination, you're gonna wipe the survivor in an instant. Same thing for Back 4 Blood. But Back 4 Blood mobs the tall boy, and if you actually use a certain variant of the quote unquote boomer, they are really, really tanky. So there is actually no chance for a casual player to actually enjoy themselves in Back 4 Blood PvP.
I see.
I would say that the PvP value in if I were to compare back to L4D, the PvP value by itself increases the replayability of the game by a whole bunch.
The PvP
which is why
value by itself. Okay.
So for this $20 game, or I'm not sure about the price now, but I remember it
wasn't Back 4 Blood like a full cost of a full game, actual AAA title?
Yeah,
I think 70 to 80.
Yeah,
it's Back 4 Blood is around there. L4D, from what I last remember, $20.
20
You
bucks.
can play non-stop. I've been playing this game for 13 years. For $20. You know how much replayability was that? I go into Back 4 Blood, and the only part I enjoy was the normal campaign. And you know what? You know the value of just a normal campaign is just gonna get stale over time
Yeah.
because you're fighting AIs, and AI movements are predictable over time.
True. Yeah.
So this is why I dislike. When I realized that the PvP is in this style, I'm like, you know what? Replayability value is already thrown out the window. I'm not gonna buy this game.
damn. That's set for Back 4 Blood. Yeah, Mayhem pretty much like agreeing. So far, Back 4 Blood, the price point no go at $70, but he thinks the game is generally pretty fun.
Yes, it is
yeah.
fun. If they
PvP
actually
stuff.
bring back campaign PvP, I would throw my money at them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's based on nostalgia.
It's
Factor as
definitely a bit
well.
of nostalgia because the developers made Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
They want you to know that we made Left 4 Dead 2. We will make a good game for you. Except that it's not so.
Yeah, but the PvP sucks.
yeah.
I mean,
But still, that
things
was
will
my-
change, yeah.
yeah.
That was just my perspective on Back 4 Blood.
Mm.
How about you? How about you guys?
How about you, Lucy? I didn't play Back 4 Blood, so
I
comments.
wish if it fixed the game at the end of the. So let's say there's a 6 act in one campaign compared to 4. If you remember Left 4 Dead, right? It has
4
one
campaigns.
campaign has 4 campaigns with 4 acts, right?
Mm.
But this time, right, it's one campaign with 6 acts, and it's going to be like maybe 3 hours worth of gameplay. So the only issue with the campaign is if it's 6 acts, right, and you have to spend 3 or 4 hours to finish it in one run, which is actually very bad for gamers who don't have much of the time. So this is why I'm just like if you want to like drop in and drop out, right, there's a lot of issues of like the guns and the money. So I'm like, I have a lot of like pain from dropping out some games and then coming back and have not enough money compared to the rest of the team. Yeah, it's not enjoyable. And also there's a very bad bug at the end of the act, right? So imagine this. End of the old campaign, right? There's a artillery cannon aimed at a tunnel or something. I forget already. And you had to set up for like you pretty know that they're gonna storm us. So
Yeah.
you prepare. You spend 10 to 20 minutes to prepare, set up threats, set out choke point in this area, right? And then you load the cannon, right?
And then they
No
will never
zombie
be
came
able to
out.
get you.
No,
Wait.
there's no zombie.
No zombie came out because you
Oh.
even though you set all the traps.
Yeah. We finished the whole campaign with no zombie in that stage.
Wow,
I'm like,
beautiful
I'm
bug.
so pissed
I'm
off.
pretty sure that's just a
Oh,
bug,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was a bug.
Yeah,
I cleared it that way as well.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just a bug. But hopefully they'll do
Yeah.
better. Like we said,
Yeah.
if your hype game is not so adequate, I believe developers can if they want to, but if they don't want to, like Anthem, they also can don't do it, right? And we will just be
Yeah.
disappointed for life. And we'll only play Left 4 Dead and never trust the guys who made Left 4 Dead ever again.
Yeah, I don't trust them much anymore.
Well,
The only reason I was excited with Evolve is because they went to GameStart 2013 or 2012.
the very
in
first
Singapore.
game start, so that was 2013.
Yes, and they had a freaking big ass Evolve monster, and so
Yep.
it was very fun to play
Yep.
when you went there.
I was
Evolve
there.
would be a very good game if they never step into microtransaction territory.
Maybe
That's
perhaps.
so-
I
That's
think they also couldn't really sell their game even without microtransactions. So well, they
Yeah.
whatever.
No. It was actually quite popular on release.
But after that,
It's because of the microtransaction that people are getting turned
but
off
why
because
did
the
they turn
balance
into,
wasn't there.
but why did they turn into microtransactions? I think that's also a very important distinction to make.
They want
No,
you
at
to
the
buy the
start.
monsters
At the
and the
start.
characters.
They
Oh.
just
Yeah.
spend $60 to get whatever. How I don't know.
No,
I don't
no,
know what's
you
wrong
bought-
with that.
Yes.
You bought the game, now you need to buy the
Yeah,
monsters.
that's dumb. Okay, anyway.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, anyway, we can go on. Like I said, we can go on. All these topics are topics we can talk for hours and days if you want to. And FP is very, and you can see FP is very passionate
Passionate.
about these
Yes.
topics. So like we
Well-
said, like I said earlier, drop by our individual streams if you want to ask us more about these things. Where we have a little bit more time to spend. But of course, we have more to talk about today, and we have one last topic. And this one, we spoke about it earlier today. We mentioned it just now. And this is about the topic of BRs. So,
Yes.
BRs are very I don't know whether you want to consider them as a trend, but let's say they are the trend because most of the games are like sort of BRs now. You got Apex Legends, you got PUBG. That first came, you got PUBG. Before that was King of the Kill, H1Z1, whatever. And what was the other one? Fortnite, yeah. But so other than all these
SMC.
yeah, SMC, there's the animal thingy as well. A bunch of
Animal
Animal
Royale.
Super Animal Royale, yeah, SAR, yeah. A bunch of royals in that's come up over the years and even until now. But in the coming years, because as our world changes, as the gaming industry evolves, there will definitely be some new trends that will pop up, right? Because in the past it was all about MMOs, and now we have all about we have all the battle royales, we have all the gachas and shit like that. So what do you think will be the next trend for gaming, if any? How do you think the gaming scene will evolve?
This is actually a very tough question.
It's a very tough question. We were talking about it yesterday,
Yeah. Actually, this question, right, we can post to the viewers as well.
Yeah, we'll also post this to the viewers.
Very open.
Because I have no idea how
it's
to answer this
open
question
discussion.
myself either. I'm an anti-trend setter, so I cannot answer this question.
To be
Okay,
fair,
Mhm.
yeah.
To
To
Go on,
be fair, I just want to dispute. To be fair, right, the trend starters are always usually happy accidents.
yeah, of course, yes.
so what? Yeah, happy carry on.
Yeah, I just never follow the trends. That's the thing. So, FP.
Okay, if you were to ask me now, just by observation, I noticed that at this point of time, probably is stepping back to MMORPG for a while.
Mm.
But upcoming games, if you actually take, like at least for the things that caught my eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of them revolves around open world and sort of like storytelling.
Open world.
Open world.
So we're looking at something like Breath of the Wild or the new Pokemon Arceus game that's coming up.
The
The new
others?
Pokemon
Dying Light
game.
2.
Yes, Dying Light 2 is actually an open world parkour game.
Hmm?
Parkour zombie survival
Yeah,
game.
where zombie can parkour.
Which
after you.
have which the world actually changes. Okay, world changing options is definitely part of the. I believe New World actually work on this concept as well as MMO.
Hmm?
Based on the different faction on how the players interact with the world will change accordingly. I believe this is what New World is about. And then it does work for. It's also the same concept of what Dying Light 2 is having. So Dying Light 2 actually works on a concept that the player's decision will actually change how the world develops as well. And for each player's world will be different based on their own personal decisions. So in a sense, if you actually play with your friends, right, you'll be joining your friend in a world that's based on their options, their decisions. So this is actually one thing that I find very, very interesting. And then, of course, when it comes to open world aspect, we do have quite a few games with that concept in mind. Yeah, I mean, like, I think ever since Breath of the Wild, they actually, right now, we see, like, Pokemon, like you mentioned earlier, Pokemon Arceus, which is an open world Pokemon game. It's the first we've ever saw, I think.
Hmm?
Yeah. And then, also with the recent announcement of Dokevi, that was going to be 2 years later.
The what
that's gonna
KV?
be released. Dokevi.
Dokv.
How do you spell that thing?
DOKEV. then a huge V.
Yeah.
D or the K.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Okay, the KV.
Delta
Yeah,
Echo,
okay.
yeah.
We spoke about
Then-
that right earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we mentioned it last podcast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game's announcement actually triggered a lot of questions. Most of it is that will this be the game that replaces Pokemon? Because it does work on the same concept. It have a little bit of Ghostbuster and a
Okay.
little bit of Pokemon. You know. So it's like you need to fight all these mobs with the help of the mobs that you captured beforehand, using your sort of quote unquote Ghostbuster vacuum cleaner and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
it also
Yeah.
works in an open world with actual in-game events. So but then now actually after seeing this game, then we compare back to what we saw for Pokemon Arceus. Suddenly Pokemon Arceus feels a little bit, lacking. I don't know, man.
You know when you think about it, Pokemon, Nintendo, and Game Freak have tried to not say overhaul, but try to be a little bit more creative with their IP. Like they have many chances to do it, and it's only like 20 over years after the very first release, the very first Pokemon game, maybe even 30 years, I don't remember when they released their first one, that they decided to create something a little bit more, open-ended,
Ambitious.
a little bit more open world compared to
Yeah.
what we
I think it's
usually have.
debatable.
Hmm?
Actually, it's quite debatable compared to like Dokkaebi.
Pokemon's Nintendo COD.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
sorry, we'll go ahead first.
no, let me give a point out. Of course, Game Freak or Nintendo is always working on this their own devices. They have their technical own restrictions, like Nintendo DS cannot work with this kind of thing. But they have tried different kind of variation of Pokemon to work with it. And they also have to do Switch, but they cannot like just go on PC. So it's hard to compare it exactly when they have to go into the hardware restriction because it's under Nintendo.
Well, this is where I will have to disagree because they have another IP known
Really?
as Mario. Do you know how many different kinds of games they make with the Mario franchise? They make racing
Pokemon
games,
has it though.
party games, Smash Bros.
Okay, fair,
And,
but
and if you take just the hardware itself, how many different kinds of games can you play on the hardware that is not made by Nintendo? That has other kinds of gameplay. That doesn't seem to be that works around the limitations of the hardware and is still like, maybe a little bit more open world, a little bit more interesting, and not samey every single time. Many, right? There are many games that are like that, right?
okay, maybe you've seen the mainstream lines of Pokemon, but I've seen the little bit difference, such as there's a Pokemon
Dungeon?
of Dungeon, there's Pokemon Rangers. There's a little bit of difference. I mean, there's now not even from Game Freak the Pokemon mobile at the moment. At least they're making a small steps. Yeah,
The Pikachu volleyball.
They do have
Oh,
a few,
no.
like this, but
Yeah.
in terms of their own Pokemon
It's-
IP, they really could have gone like a little bit more ambitious like earlier on already.
True.
They definitely had a lot of
Yeah,
chance to do
true.
so. Like even Ha says Pokemon is Nintendo's COD. At least every single
True.
Pokemon game is still different from each other. But yeah, so I can see you doing a search here. Do you want me to switch to your screen?
No, it's okay. I'm
Okay.
just searching whether Game Freak has made other Pokemon. Other games than Pokemon.
I'm very sure they have actually. I believe they made this a game called
Magic.
Magic.
Okay.
Magic the Gathering.
Oh,
is
I just saw the game that I was talking about. Can you mouse over that game again?
This one.
No, go back. Oh shit, it's a bit pixelated here. I gotta do some changes to your Discord streaming thing again because I think it's a bit pixelated.
Okay.
There's
You want me
this
to reset?
IP. No, I think it's like better now. As long as the viewers can see. Okay, it's still bad. Yeah, reset please.
Alright.
Okay, it's good now. Okay, I see.
I didn't do anything.
Okay, yeah, that's fine now. Yeah, somehow Discord's being weird, but yeah, there's this title called Giga Wrecker. It's been a game that
Giga
just up there. Yeah, it's a game that I've been eyeing for. Well, I've been wanting to play this game for a while. And it seems to be a very interesting concept. This one is developed by Game Freak.
Okay,
Yeah, and it's totally different from Pokemon. It's totally not Pokemon. Yeah.
Let's just see the gameplay perspective for a little bit.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
It's a Giga Wrecker.
So this just came out recently, right? The trailer.
Couple of years back.
Oh. I got confused with a lot of games.
It's been out for a few years already. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
It
it does remind me a little bit of Mega Man and Ender Lilies.
Yeah, there's a bit of that feel.
Mm.
I can't even hear the volume from your end.
Oh,
It's fine.
you
You can't do anything about it. It's okay. Yeah, so oh wait, I can hear it now. It's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, so it's like Game Freak finally did something that wasn't Pokemon. Then I'm like, hey, I don't mind taking a look at this.
It actually looks
Nice.
cool though.
Yeah, it's a cool game.
I think it's your guy's kind of type of game.
It's obviously
but
my
no.
kind of, it's not your type of game, I know.
Definitely not my type of game. You all know my taste.
I mean, I'm a weeb, and I like my platformers. I like my action. I like
What? They have skill tree.
I like my skill level. I like having to be skillful at the game.
Level editor.
And so what the stat I just saw down there? Fun fact: Mayhem was the CEO at his local Sony chip manufacturer, P Chip Singapore.
Wait, what?
Before he lost
What?
over 720,000 Singaporean dollars in the Asian popular game to the Asian popular Asian game Go.
Oh, what?
I don't know how to comment to that. I don't know what's the reference or anything like that. So I will disregard that for the time being. Yeah, but let's go back to the topic at hand, shall we? Trends in gaming. So what are some of the what are some of the trends that you guys expect? Harry is sad right now. So he feels disregarded. Whatever, mean.
Alright, so Epi mentioned about the next trend setter gonna be Pokemon monster taming open world genre, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we have a few games that were like that already. That came out in the past few years.
Like popularized or something.
I mean, not like super
Is that-
popular. Can check out Monster Sanctuary.
Monster Century, yes, but more open world. I mean, like.
I mean,
There was one
it's
release
2D
recently,
Metroidvania
right?
is considered as open world-ish, right? Because you have to explore the world, the 2D
Yeah,
world.
technically, Pokemon.
I think it's a different
Yeah.
kind of thingy. It's a different kind of experience, I guess.
But hasn't
Fair
open
point.
world always been a quite well sought after genre?
I mean,
Isn't there a game-
yeah.
Isn't there a recent game that's like Pokemon but with guns?
That
no.
game. I just
Very controversial, by the way.
it got controversial, yes, but I love the concept for the
Yes.
game. Mainly because it's a little bit like, mainly because it's so fucked up.
I mean, it's slavery. You slave Pokemon.
It's a little
monsters.
it's fucked up. That's why it's interest. That's why it's even remotely interesting.
It's okay.
Fair
I'm
point.
always interested in fucked up stuff.
Yeah,
That's why we are degens. I mean,
that's why.
Mm.
That's why the GTA Pokemon Grand Theft Pokemon is got the news that it did, right? I forgot the name of the game by the way.
Yeah, I forgot as
Oh,
well.
is it Pale World? It's Pale World, yeah.
Oh yeah, power.
It's Pale
Yeah.
World,
Pale World.
yeah. It's,
They actually test your morals in the game.
yeah, it's essentially Grand Theft Auto, but it's Pokemon.
Definitely. Yeah.
So it's a very interesting concept. You guys should, if you want to find out, go and check it out yourself. I don't think I want to play on the show.
Is it
Power, not
Pale World?
no, just power.
PALWORLD, Pale World. Yeah,
Alright, I can see this.
yeah. So you can go and take a look.
look.
Do you want me to show it to them?
Rip-off. Yeah, sure.
Ah, sure.
You can
okay.
see the rip-off Pokemon monster looking to me.
Yeah, that's a Electabuzz. Yeah. Yeah, you have
and
and then you have
this-
Pokemon working for you. I mean, you have
Yeah, this
Yeah.
actually looks like an actual Pokemon.
and you have creatures
yeah.
working for you.
Look at how sad the creatures are working on your
Yeah,
guns. man.
slavery. What the hell is this? Yeah, guns. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, about guns. Yeah.
And it's M16 by the way. They didn't bother changing the motor of
Yeah.
the gun.
That's like that's like the gun that I used when I was in the army, and I love using that gun, by the way. More than the other issued guns.
SAR 21.
Yeah, more than the SAR 21. Harry is waiting for Stalker 2, Darkest Dungeons 2, and Shadow of War 2. Is Mordor coming out coming out a second game?
I have no idea actually.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
no
that.
idea.
I didn't know that.
Could
Was there even
or maybe it's a future. Like
Yeah.
he's thinking for the future.
yeah, maybe.
Probably.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Darkest Dungeon. Would Darkest Dungeon have a second game when they have such an active modding community right now? Yeah, and all this stuff. So trends, but even given, but even wait, hang on, I'm reading a chat here. Why am I a priest? Never mind. Anyway, I don't get the joke here.
Okay,
But
maybe because I think right. Let me get a reference. So Harry said, I think back in World War II, right? It's a bit off topic, right? But in World War II, right, there's a soldier who does not kill because they are he's very like do no harm to mankind or something like that. Yeah, so he literally did not have a gun for that war, and he went around saving people.
So essentially, you're telling me that somebody pulled out the joke out of nowhere to use it in a place with no context.
Yes.
Oh,
You might need
Whoops.
you might need a lesson on how to tell a joke. By the way,
oh my god.
don't be the joke. Don't be the joke. Be the joker.
Snap.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Yes. Why are you
Oh,
looking
well.
at me like that? Why are you guys looking at me like that?
it's fine.
No one question mark.
But okay, but with trends, let's expand this because
Okay.
we think about trends like as in a whole like mainstream popularity kind of thing. But what about just within our own inner circle? Because I'm a guy who plays like a very specific set of games, and you guys are people who play a lot of different kinds of games, and you are probably more in tune with different kinds of communities that's not just the mainstream community. So maybe what do you think are certain genres or certain kind of games that will become a trend in your communities? Yeah, maybe your own
Yeah,
streaming communities even.
To be fair, I mean, definitely you can say MMO kinds of games that we can definitely play together. That community, if you're talking about communities, right, you need to have a game that everyone can play and it's accessible. And this is always mostly free to play games. I mean, except for some microtransaction, Genshin, Gacha, and also
Technically, people still can play together.
yeah,
Yeah, you don't need to pay money
to.
you don't need to pay money to play Genshin, right?
I mean, if you want, to
Unless you
get
want those
better
husband
style,
goals
you
and
can play-
waifus.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you. And also FF, Final Fantasy 14, since there's a free trial, you can join for a little bit.
There's a free trial up to level 60.
yes.
After Heaven's Word,
Why am I doing this marketing for you guys? I don't even play the fucking game.
But yeah, the trend with community is always multiplayer. And I think I just bring up one of the games that my community actually played. Maybe my share community played was actually Tribes of Midgard, which is a tower defense game based on time. Like days, like as days goes by, right? You're more doomed as you're gonna like your town gonna get destroyed as the monster get difficult, the nights get longer because it's winter. Winter is coming.
Winter is
Sunset and
coming.
stuff.
Yeah, so those kind of multiplayer games, even me and FP community actually went together to play Valheim. It's also a multiplayer game where everyone just can just join in and have fun. Those are all the trend will always be the staple, to be honest.
So open world
yeah.
survival.
Yes.
No, let's just say the key point is actually multiplayer. As many players as possible.
Multiplayer open world survival.
No,
I believe
just,
no,
just
I believe
multiplayer in
open world
general.
isn't. Yeah, just multiplayer in general. Like because there was a point of time where Project Winter was actually a trend.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
The werewolf, but in winter kind of that game. Yeah.
Project
Yeah.
Winters, Among Us, things that you can have a lot of players inside. Those are actually good
Among
community
Us.
games.
Among
Yeah,
Us.
I think-
Among Us.
Yeah, I actually enjoy Project Winter a lot more.
Oh.
It feels a lot more in depth, but it's said that I would just say it's kind of hard to get enough players for it. So that's actually the downside of
It's a game.
Project Winters.
It's arguably a game that doesn't pick up as quickly as it's harder to get into, right, compared to Among Us. I mean, because of how
Among
it
Us
looks like and the speed of which you get into the action.
Among Us is a lot more simplified and you just jump straight into the game. But for Project Winters, it does involve a lot of planning and a lot of really good deception and stuff. Yeah, because there are different classes and also different ways you can handle things. Especially if you're one of the traitors of the game, right? The amount of planning you have to do beforehand, how you want to trick the other players, how you or whether you want to go off solo or go hang out with the survivors to pretend to be one of them. It does create a lot of it does make you think and strategize on how you are going to beat the game. It's not just say like, oh, I'm just gonna go up to them and then they just die. I got an opportunity, I'm just gonna kill them
You
immediately.
need to
No.
deceive them and all that stuff.
Because the survivors can fight back.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's like reminds me of this other board game. Also same zombies and winter. I can't remember the name of the game though.
Never mind,
I forgot the name of the game for some reason.
I think those kind of games Among Us, right, is actually a trend, but it doesn't hit as hard as Among Us at the moment.
I mean, you have a trend that made an
due-
entire
yeah.
industry, and you have a trend that is just a trend.
Yeah,
Right.
Among Us is just a lot more simplified, very easy to get into, which is why it's so popular in the first
Yeah,
place.
I do love Among Us though.
Yeah, actually, social media is the one that actually a big factor.
Yep.
There's those offline TV who actually blew it up.
True.
And I mean, there are games like Deceit, which actually came out actually around the same time as Among Us. I'm not really sure, like Deceit, because I'm pretty sure Deceit was also a thing before Among Us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Among Us was also out, but Among Us was a mobile game before it became like super popular as well.
Yeah, but this was more popular. Okay, not more popular. It was in trend.
Was it
before?
Wait, wasn't
Among Us.
Deceit the one where you? Oh my god, I don't remember. Is it like this?
Okay.
Forget that.
The monster or the imposter have to collect blood bags in order to turn into a monster. Then when you turn into a
Yeah.
monster, you start the kill.
Look at the good old
So the
CryEngine.
survivor's priority is to stop the monsters from getting the blood bags to transform.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also at the same time try to figure out who it is and kill them off before they transform.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
but-
I've seen this one before.
So it actually has a lot of depth inside. Then even for the infected, right? After getting the blood bag, you transform, right? You have a limited amount of timing. You have a limited time of transformation. So during this period of time, you want to kill as many people as possible without getting found out that you are infected. And at the same time, every single player you're actually armed with a weapon. So even let's say even if the infected isn't in the infected form, they still have a chance of fighting back with their gun, or even they can even attempt to kill you off with their gun without transforming. So it's still a lot more strategizing compared to, let's say, Among Us. Among Us is is extremely simplified and extremely easy to get into.
Fair enough.
You know?
There are many other games as well, and like since you are playing it more frequently as well, cooperative horror, Phasmophobia, Ghost Hunters, all
Phasmophobia.
these.
Oh, that's a trend as
Phasmophobia,
well.
What do you think of those games?
Phasmophobia. Unfortunately, I think Phasmophobia has a limited shelf play life because it just gets like, because I mean it's cooperative. You actually play for the ambience, but over time you actually get used to it. You no longer the feel is no longer as good. The fear factor is no longer as strong. And then the monsters AI you get more and more familiar with the monsters AI, and eventually it just gets stale.
Yeah, it seems like
And
there
then-
are a lot of games now as well where you work together with friends and you got to hunt something, be it a ghost or monster. Like there was one a few years ago also. It's a game where you go with your friends out into a forest to hunt down a yeti. A Bigfoot. Sorry. I don't remember the name of the game. It could just be Bigfoot. Full stop. Well, there was a game just like that came out many years ago. So when Phasmophobia when games like Phasmo and Ghost Hunters Corp started to get some traction, I was like, oh my, that genre of game finally picked up some steam. Cooperative hunting games. But do you think that these kind of genres will become like trendy for a good period of time?
It's definitely fun to play with friends, but as I mentioned, all these have it will get stale over time unless there's a constant update. Like for Phasmophobia, you actually get to a point where it was so stale they have to revamp the whole game.
Yes, you said that before, yeah.
So with the new revamp, it actually changes everything. Everything feels fresh again, but then if you were to think about it, over time it's just going to go back to the same stale state once again. So it will revolve a lot of work from the devs, I guess, for it to stay relevant. But however, I think at the point of it also does depend on how the developers design the game as well. So for one example is that you guys know about Hello Neighbor, right?
Yes, of course.
Oh yes.
They have another version called Secret Neighbor.
Yep.
So apparently from what I heard, right, this neighbor, which is that so-called the monster or the uncle in the game, actually has a AI that learns the pattern of the player.
Yes, correct.
Oh yes.
So-
Like Alien Predator.
So let's say
I believe-
I
I believe it does extend the lifespan of the game just because of how it's designed.
Correct.
Like the amount of work that the devs have to put in to keep the game updated and relevant just reduces a whole lot.
essentially just to explain how the AI learns your behavior is like, let's say you break into the house, because the objective of the neighbor, the monster, is to stop you from going to his house. He's a very unfriendly guy. So if you break the house through the window. The next time when he catches you and throws you out, the next time you try to go back in, that window is blocked. The window is locked up. You can't go in through the window anymore. Or he might be waiting for you at the window. So I had to find some other ways to go in. Find more other creative ways to go in. So every single time you fail, when you come back, the path to get into the house changes. The gameplay experience changes each time. And it happens, and while at some point you might be able to go back through the window, no problem, because eventually, just for balance sake, they got to make it easier as well, right? But eventually, when you can go in through the window again, it's already a completely different gameplay loop that you probably remember. So it's always a dynamic experience each time.
Yeah. So it does remove the stale factor of the game by a huge load.
Yep. So
I want to add on AI, because if there's a video on YouTube at the moment where they show two AIs on, one is defending of the enemy coming over to a room or something like that. I can't remember exactly. There's two teams of AI. One is to stop an AI going over to this area, and one team will have to go over it. So they will do a lot of rounds, which they keep learning. So it's like this kind of concept is always translated into games, like what Nep said. There's also the Aliens games. I can't forget Alien Isolation. Yes, there's a whole video. Not really a whole video. I can't remember the duration of the video. It has a long, big webs of coding, like saying how it is. And if you want to bring up to Hello Neighbor, is it, or Secret Neighbor?
Hello and Secret Neighbor, yeah.
Yes. Imagine they are indie game and this is a AAA game, which has a lot of mind maps, and I wonder how long the AI will stop learning. Because
essentially, I would love to go deeper into this, because AI is all about designing an AI is about showing the player that the AI is not cheating, essentially. Because the AI knows all the information. So the designers, the programmers have to show the player, have to make the AI convincing enough, smart enough, to make the player feel that the AI is capable of learning about their behavior, but not in a way that they feel that's cheating. And that one is very interesting. It's in fact one of these things that was talked about during the Alien Isolation. The video about Alien Isolation's AI. So if you guys haven't yet, please just do go and check it out, because that's a very interesting video. But either way, I don't think we can come up with a very convincing answer for trends, because there's like so many ways that we can. There's so many ways that trends can come about, and who knows? What is a trend? What is a trend to us might not be a trend to like other people. And what's a trend for you might not be a trend for me. But of course, we know, like, currently, what are the games that are hot? Tales of Arise. What are some of the other games that are hot? I don't know. Let me just take a look at my Discord not Discord, my Twitch right now.
The Battlefield 2042.
I don't
all
know.
The big games.
Actually, all I see is like Tales of Arise in my list right now. I follow
because
very
you only follow Tales of Arise.
Yes.
I don't know. There's like Final Fantasy 14, Genshin, and Tales of Arise, and maybe Dead by Daylight, and that's about it. It's just a bunch of different kinds of games, so I can't really answer that myself either. But yeah, we have reached the end of our time here, and we have still, like I said, so much to talk about.
Yeah.
So if you guys want go delve deep into discussion with each of us individually, please follow us in our social media and Twitch channels. Are you gonna do that for me, Musi? Okay. And we can talk from there. We all play different kinds of games. Musi plays a huge variety of games. FP plays a huge variety of games. And I don't play a huge variety of games. I only play about 2 games at most at any given point on stream. So, but I do
Change the diapers. I
Huh?
changed the diapers. Okay, remember?
Yeah.
Change
Yeah.
the diapers.
for me it's I had to finish reading the chapter before I change the book. Wait, I had to finish reading the book before I change the book. can't change it. I change diapers. Yeah, so join our Twitch channels and follow our social media and our individual Discords as well. And of course, when it comes to Discord, also join. Which one's the command anyway? I can't forget. Yeah, join the Games Expedition Discord server to interact with us and get updates on our upcoming shows. So yeah, once again, thanks everyone for coming. FB and Musi, I hope you guys had fun talking about
It's kind of an
random-
interesting topic today.
yeah, and we hope to be
Yeah.
able to cover more interesting topics next month. If you guys want us to talk about something as well, yeah, please do go ahead and
Yeah.
suggest that to us in the Discord server. So yep,
Open.
with that in mind, this is the end of Spaced Out, and I'm now going to officially space out until the next day.
Same here.
So, all right. I hope you guys had I hope you guys had fun. We did too, and we see you guys again very soon. So, this has been the Games Expedition, and we'll see you guys again later in the month for the first Games Expedition show featuring FB and Musi. Wait, is it FB and Musi?
I think it's Scarlet and
Or is
me.
it Scarlet and you? Okay. Either way, the 3 of them will be involved. I'm not going to be involved. Okay. So yeah. Alright. I'll see you guys again soon.
What?
This has been the Games Expedition. This
Okay.
has been the Games
Oh,
Expedition.
you're our producer.
But I have.
Yeah, Neb is producer. Nani?
I have things to do. I can't even produce that thing. Yeah. Anyway, this has been the Games Expedition. This has been Ned, FB, and Musi, and we'll see you guys again very soon. So for now, it's a goodbye.